Alright, trip number 5. Gamestop. Welcome back to another Rebel Rant into the Void. So, first thing I want to start off talking about is that I've had some fairly odd comments directed at me regarding my videos. And it's made me come to realize that some people do not understand why I'm doing this. Why I'm recording my acts of civil disobedience as I enter out into public without a mask and uploading them to my channel. This is a little surprising to say the least, though not as surprising as it might have been, because a lot of people nowadays, to be perfectly honest, they just don't seem to know how to listen to other people. Maybe this happens to you. I would not be surprised if it does. When you're trying to have, just a civil, intelligent conversation with them, and it just seems like everything you say goes in one ear and out the other. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only one it happens to, so. And so it's not as surprising as you might think. Now, obviously, there's always going to be room for misunderstandings and whatnot. And, I'm not going to sit here and tear apart people that are not understanding my motivations. It is part of being human. But I would like to, set the record straight, for lack of a better word. I am not making these videos because I believe that what I'm doing is going to change anything. I'm not engaging in civil disobedience because I think that my actions alone are going to change anything. The reason that I do this, first and foremost, is because I simply will not comply with these acts of tyranny. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in the Bill of Rights. I believe in my country. And as a military veteran, I committed myself to supporting and protecting the Constitution in my country. And while I no longer actively serve in the military, I still take that responsibility to heart. So, in that regard, I will do what I can, even if it doesn't amount to much of anything in the bigger scheme. And then beyond that, there is another reason for it. It is my hope that when people see my acts of civil disobedience, that they will be inspired by them to engage in their own acts of civil disobedience. Because one man acting alone is not going to change the tide. I know this. I've known it since day one. I'm doing this because I'm hoping that you watching and listening to these videos will be encouraged and inspired to engage in your own acts of civil disobedience. That is the biggest reason why I'm doing this, as far as the videos go. People have made statements to me, comments, and I know full well that I, as one person, can't stop this tyranny from happening. I know this. And it is just my hope that other people will recognize it for what it is and draw inspiration and come together united against this tyranny. So to get on to the video, at this point, I had made a trip to Gamestop to pick up a couple of things. I'm sure, as you can imagine, I have a decent amount of downtime on my hands right now due to situations very much beyond my control. The beer bug itself has not been an issue, but the response from society and government has made it impossible to just live a normal life. So here we are. And as usual, I walked into Gamestop without a mask. There were signs regarding, social distancing and whatnot. Both employees did have masks. One of them had it on their face the way that it was meant to be. And the other one was making sure he could breathe while wearing the mask. And just to be clear, I 100% support anybody's choice to not wear a mask at all. If somebody wants to wear a mask, that's their right. But beyond that, nobody has the right to force other people to wear a mask that provides no protection whatsoever. And as I, did my business in the store, browsing, trying to figure out what I was going to purchase, this employee came over to me, chatted me up, had no problem with the fact that I was not wearing a mask, did not say a word. He did his job and let me just go about my business as a customer, or at least a potential customer. The other employee seemed on the fidgety side. I don't know if it was the norm for her personality, or if there was something else going on beneath the surface. Without an actual conversation, it's impossible to know for sure. But the other person may very well have been nervous about the fact that I was not wearing a mask. Regardless, nothing happened. I was not accosted. And I'm just going to say this now. When this whole mess is behind us and people finally look back with, that perfect hindsight 2020 vision, they're going to realize that GameStop took a stand against this tyranny when nobody else would. Elected officials did not want them opening their doors for business. And GameStop opened their doors anyways, when so many other companies capitulated to this tyranny, to these unlawful edicts, and shut their doors. So regardless of how you feel about GameStop, if you love them, if you hate them, if you don't care about them one way or the other, GameStop will be remembered as one of the few that stood against this tyranny. Now, granted, they have put up measures in a very misplaced and misguided attempt to curb the spread of infectious disease, not just the beer bug. But at least in that regard, they did take a stand. They kept their employees working, made it possible for their employees to continue to pay their bills and feed themselves and their families. And that is to be commended. I am not doing this because I believe that I am personally making a difference when it comes to these unlawful edicts. It is simply my hope that as you watch these videos and experience my civil disobedience for yourself, that you will understand the importance of civil disobedience, especially in these trying times when tyranny is rampant across our country and civil liberties have been squashed flat. One man cannot do this alone. Your country needs you. Your family needs you to stand with those of us that have already chosen not to comply. It is the only way that we can turn back the hand of tyranny without being forced to resort to other measures that nobody wants to resort to. It's happened more than once in this country, on this continent, And I hope that I do not live to see the day when that happens again. Even though, if we're being honest here, it's actually already happening, except that those responsible, they don't even consider themselves to be Americans. They don't like this country. They hate this country. They hate everything that this country stands for. And this does include American citizens, which is sad to say the least. What people need to understand: when you wear a mask, especially for extended periods of time, that mask is trapping the carbon dioxide that you exhale with each breath. When you wear a mask for an extended period of time, you are putting yourself at risk of carbon dioxide poisoning. As human beings, we breathe in the oxygen and we exhale the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide in and of itself is not a toxic substance. It is a vital component of life on this planet. However, our bodies are not designed to process the carbon dioxide. It is a byproduct of our metabolic system. This is a very common scientific fact. There are states that have made it a crime to enter into public without a mask. There are tyrants across this country that want to prohibit you from entering into public without wearing a mask. These little tyrants want to steal the oxygen from your lungs. We no longer have the right to free speech. Your livelihood can be taken away for exercising such a right. We no longer have the right to bear arms. You must jump through hoop after hoop in order to protect yourself, in order to protect those that you care about, in order to protect your fellow man. And now these little tyrants are coming for the very air you breathe, putting you at greater risk than the beer bug ever could. These little tyrants have muzzled the average citizen through cancel culture, through social media, through quote-unquote hate crimes, which are a direct violation of the Constitution and your First Amendment right to express yourself. What you think or feel has zero bearing on your actions, with the exception of motive. These little tyrants do not have the right or the authority to punish you more severely for what you think or what you feel. As someone who has dealt with respiratory issues and is still dealing with severe breathing issues, I understand better than most the importance of being able to breathe oxygen freely.
Anything I can help you look for today, boss?
I'm trying to figure out what to get.
No problem. What kind of games like you looking for? Like what time you like?
Well, I mean, I just got my Switch a couple months ago.
You just got it?
All I've got right now is Breath of the Wild. And
I'm just gonna buy it just for that game.
yeah, the game's amazing. Man.
It's amazing.
It is.
Oh man,
I've actually got some videos up if you want to see.
it's crazy. So we got Paper Mario just dropped in this weekend. So this is new, and we still have a couple copies left that didn't pick it up. Some people didn't pick it up, so I had like 2 or 3 left. So when you're interested in that, I have that in. I just got this one that sells a lot, 2K. But depends on what type of game you were looking for.
As well as Gamestop and Visa and MasterCard.
Well, no, yeah, so I've only got one game so far, so
Additional cleaning
just looking to see what you got, which
for our citizens.
Definitely. Well, this is the pre-O right here.
Gotcha.
And this is the new side. If you have any questions or need any questions about anything, let me know.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. Oh, actually, how much are the extra controllers?
Which one?
How much are the controllers? Yeah, how much?
Just got one. one in is right there. It's 79.
79.
Shelby, is it 79 the Joy-Con, right?
Yeah.
79. Yeah, 80. And it's just the one that just came in, so that's it. People are just going crazy over that.
Dude, that's like what, a third of us, the actual system.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, that's crazy. And they're not even like.
Yep.
They're like.
And you can't keep them in stock. It's impossible. It's just crazy.
Oh, I'll go ahead and take it.
Yeah, he's gonna take it. In the last 5 minutes in the show. Not even, I'm not kidding, man. Not even 5 minutes.
Dude, I went to 3 stores just to get my Switch. I believe it. I believe it, dude.
And we have one PS4, I think. We just got it too.
Wow.
One PS4, that's it. Crazy.
Well, I mean, a lot of free time right now.
Yeah,
So.
a lot of free time and nothing to do. What can you do?
Not much, man.
Play games, man.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing else to do.
I'd have bored.
Yeah.
And yet so many of my fellow Americans have allowed these little tyrants to steal the oxygen from their lungs. The most effective vector for the transmission of infectious diseases is through tactile contact, not through respiration. Unless you walk up to somebody and cough directly into their face, which no sane citizen will do, then the simple and natural act of breathing is not a threat, which you have every right to do. To breathe clean air, fresh oxygen, and to exhale their natural respiratory waste, to dissipate into the atmosphere unimpeded. These are some of the most basic scientific facts of human biology. If you need me to prove these things, then you are the proof that these public indoctrination institutions have been successful. If you need me to prove these things, then you have been brainwashed.
So now we decide. Forgive or condemn?
Look, before you say, I wasn't so bad, Adrian, I just want to say, I ain't trying to hear that. Are you kidding me? Everything that personally creeps me out in the game was present in that trailer. Okay, let's run it down. Grand piano by a fireplace, check. Abandoned police station, check. Some long forgotten lockers, check. Lights shutting off on their own, check. Creepy figure frame skipping towards you, check. You know, there's even one part, I'm not sure if you caught it, but like there was some hooded figures like druids carrying torches like they're about to walk out the Undertaker at WrestleMania. And on the subject of rest in peace, let's explore what you're up to. You may recall the street signs and location names in the trailer pointing you towards Dormont. Well, that's the name of the town you're headed to in order to confront your own infidelity. Now, here's something to stew over. Despite your reasoning for coming, you're tasked with making the decision over the fate of others in the town. And remember later in the trailer when it's all like, will you offer salvation? And the character is holding up a green orb for thumbs up and a red orb for thumbs down? There's gonna be a few of those moments where you learn the stories of others and do your best Lucius Julius Commodus impression, despite your own circumstances. I mean, there's more to the story, but I mean, that's why you should play it.
Yeah.
You can go for another scene right now. So, yeah, your copy. Play the game, play the trailer.
Paper Mario Origami King is the 6th game of the Paper Mario series. Did you know that the first game of the series wasn't called Paper Mario when it originally released in Japan?
Do you have a phone number that's or anything like that?
Mario's side story.
Yes.
Yep.
I do need to tap the card.
For a tap to pay?
Yeah.
Yeah, just 1 second. You have 2 $5 coupons. You want to use them today?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Of course. Of course you.
like a tiny little scratch on the.
Take them
Oh,
2
dude.
games. 2 games after you take note. Can't do anything.
It's all good.
And then for the Joy-Cons, we always recommend the 1-year protection plan. It's in case like the buttons stop working, the sticks start drifting, which happens a lot with the left one. It covers everything except for being lost stolen. It's $10, but we'll cover both of them, and then we'll try our best to, especially right now with everything. We'll like you're mostly the first in line when a new one comes in.
Yeah, as well.
Okay. And then one more thing, we always recommend the 1-year protection plans on the cartridges. It's
No,
a good
I'm
thing.
good on that. Yeah.
You're fine. And then anything else I can help you with?
No, I think that'll do it.
For tap, hit the green button to confirm the amount, and then I'll tell you to press it again. Press it shortly after.
He actually just got this card, and I guess tap. Where do I tap it?
You can tap it, like right there. It mostly activates randomly. Yeah, it's
Okay.
weird.
Okay, it's still asking for the pin. Okay, because I just got the card. When they gave it to me, I didn't realize that my old pin wasn't going to be attached to it. Because I went to the grocery store to get food, and they had me tap it, and it didn't ask for my pin over there. So like, I don't know, I guess it was different.
Is it asking for it now?
Yes.
You can hit the green button to put it to like credit. So like, it's not gonna do the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get the pin figured out because they didn't give me a pin number for the new card. So I was like, and I completely forgot about it.
Try one more time. It just timed out.
Okay.
When it originally released in Japan, it was the Mario story. When the game's sequel, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, released in Japan, it was called Paper Mario RPG.
It's just beeping at me.
Should let you.
Origami Menace is taking over the kingdom.
I've never seen it be like no.
Really? That's story of my life.
It's like
All the weird stuff happens to me.
speakers, I can't like input anything or anything like that.
Nintendo Switch.
I mean, if you try it with the chip, it may be like okay. Do you want to try it with the chip just in case?
Yeah, I might as well.
You can do it. You can just put it in.
Okay.
And today we are going to get artsy and craftsy. Specifically with paper. More specifically, origami. No.
Okay, that
Listen,
makes-
It was like maybe it's just because it's tap to pay. It was like no.
There we go. Okay, yeah, I gotta get that figured out.
today we're going to be talking about
Appreciate it.
And then this is a reminder of the warranty. Just move to right there. If you keep the box, this is proof enough you got the warranty with us. Or if you bring back the receipt, you'll be good.
Sounds good.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
Have a good one. Thanks, man. You too.
He clearly didn't agree with the masking edict either, as he wore it beneath his nose and mouth, and had no problem conversing with me face to face, man to man. And when I finally made my purchase and turned to make my way to the door, he called out to me, and he saluted me with a civilian two-fingered salute, which I returned. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this rant. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. There is more than enough stuff going on in the world today to provide content for a long time to come. Always remember to look beneath the surface. Well, yeah, like I'm literally the only person not wearing a mask, but nobody says anything, and I mean, things always get worse before they get better. I'm pretty well expecting things to escalate before this nonsense is over. I have heard on the radio that more places around the state are pushing these masking edicts, so that alone tells me that it is escalating. And I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. I'll keep posting videos, and if and when something happens, well, y'all will be the first to know. Rebel Squadron will return. This has been another Rebel Rant, speaking into the void.
Can't stop the signal now.